Last time on D&D. We catch up with our adventurers as they take a moment to reflect on the madness that had just occurred. Once they pull their infernal war machines over and have some time to reflect, the adventurers become slightly infuriated with Eminem putting their lives in danger. Eminem is rather flippant about the whole affair, with a one-track mind of being willing to sacrifice anyone and anything to obtain the hand of Vecna. However, one point Darius mentions sticks with him, that if they continue along their adventure, they would become stronger and be in a better place to try to obtain the hand. Eminem agrees with this plan of action as they move onward to the Mirror of Mephistar. They arrive at another puzzling scene similar to Smiler's tree grove, but more ominous. The adventurers approach this huge slab of ice that acts like a mirror and gaze into it, upon which they see a frozen wasteland in which only a lone tower resides. The adventurers see their own reflection, a soulless, corpse-like reflection which stuns both Eminem and Mirth for a few moments. When they regain their composure, a winged creature emerges from the tower and flies towards the adventurers. When it approaches, the adventurers notice that its face is frozen in a ghastly scream. The creature brings a pitcher of steaming hot water and pours it over its face, the scream thawing into a neutral pose, and then begins to speak. "What are you doing here?" the creature asks the adventurers. The adventurers explain that they are here on behalf of a demon named Ubelux, in search of a way to free the demon from its magical prison. The creature, who introduces himself as Rigorath, explains that his master, Mephistopheles, would be able to free the demon in return for the help from the adventurers. Rigorath explains that he needs the adventurers to dam the river Styx at a precise location. He would provide the means for the adventurers to accomplish this task, but they would have to do it on their own. In return, Rigorath would reward the adventurers not only with Ubelux's freedom, but with the true answer to any secret they desire, which may make them either more wise or intelligent. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Darius, curious about Mephistopheles' arrangement with Zariel, inquires about the nature of the mission, who is it benefiting, why it needs to be done, etc. Rigorath responds that his master is partnered with Zariel in order to accomplish similar goals. Darius sees through this slight obfuscation of the truth to see that Zariel is immensely powerful, and that Mephistopheles would not deny a request from Zariel out of fear for his own well-being. Darius tries to maneuver this bargain into a meeting with Zariel, in which Rigorath chuckles to himself, stating that the adventurers would need a big bargaining chip with them to any meeting with Zariel in order to not be killed on the spot. Once the adventurers come to an accord with Rigorath, he instructs them to chip off the ice in which their contract is inscribed, melt it, and drink it in order to seal their pact. With this done, Rigorath summons an imp made from ice called Impsicle to aid them in their mission. He is equipped with 5 shadow sticks that, when impaled to the ground, should cause the ground to fall away to create a dam. Rigorath tells them that they are looking for a place called the Pit of Shumrath, and that Impsicle can show them the way there. With their new ice friend in tow, they head out to the pit. When the adventurers arrive, all except Eminem are bombarded telepathically with a message, begging the adventurers to free them and that they must have their revenge against Bel. As they approach, they are greeted with a pit of green, boiling goo, in which a small tributary from the river Styx flows into the goo. The adventurers take their time and look around. A minute goes by and they are once again bombarded with the same telepathic message. Some type of creature in a cage that was lowered into the green goo yells in pain as its cage is lifted above the pit. The creature screams out for the adventurers to help free him from his cage and motions towards the crane operating the raising and lowering mechanism. As our adventurers often do, they ask the creature what it can give them in return for their help. The creature claims that it would make a personal slave for each of the adventurers, including Smiler, the last remaining knight, and Crickendolt. However, as is their greedy nature, the adventurers wanted the creature to be their slave as well. The creature pleads with them, asking how 8 slaves were not enough. Sick of their bullshit, the creature casts mass suggestion on the adventurers, successfully charming Eminem, Corona, and Mirth. The creature demands that they stop the crane mechanism and free him from his cage over the ground. They do so, but not before the creature has to demand Eminem stay away from him, due to his spirit guardians. Once they finish taking the restraints off of his feet, the creature flips them all the bird as he disappears into thin air, a lesson of the consequences of greed that I'm sure will go directly over all of their heads. Carrying onward to the task at hand, Imsicle says that while he is placing the Shadow Sticks, he will require the protection from the creatures they tend to summon. The adventurers make an adequate distraction by casting Thaumaturgy and lure the Spine Devils to their vehicles where they can get some cover. Before long, all of the Spine Devils are dead, and the Shadow Sticks finish charging, collapsing the earth around them to create a sufficient dam that successfully blocks the river Styx from flowing into the pit. Pleased with their work, the Imsicle lets out one last exasperated sigh before turning into a small puddle of water. The adventurers immediately board their vehicles and start making their way back to the Mirror of Mephistar. Along the way, the adventurers come upon the famous Wandering Emporium that Smiler had told them about. A selection of over half a dozen shops, all with the finest goods one can acquire in Avernus. The Emporium's gracious host Mahadi greets the adventurers, lingering slightly longer on Lulu than the rest of them, before inviting the adventurers for a free meal in his restaurant, called the Infernal Rapture. What will the adventurers glean from their time here? Is this truly the slice of paradise that it seems to be? Come back next time to find out on D&D!